What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This one's gonna be on. We have desk, which is pay attention to your work. I always wonder if you guys can actually see these enough or I hold them up long enough. But that being said, if you're interested in a one-on-one reading, you can do so by directly messaging me or with the link in my bio. The first reading will be $35 for up to 20 minutes, and you can ask whatever questions you want, or I can simply see what comes out. If it does not resonate, then I'll simply refund you. That being said, let's jump right in. So, I try my best to shuffle these on screen, especially because there's so many of them, and I like when people are able to see the synchronicities and you guys are able to witness the synchronicities, like as I do too. So, we have Firecracker with excitement, and then we have Beetle with good fortune. So I'm going to use my Sonic deck for this one, and as I was grabbing my Sonic deck, I'm just looking at this too. It's Domino. So, Domino, the energy of manifestation, right? And the energy of how Domino's ability work the same. It's the energy of I'm feeling lucky, I am this, so I'm going to act in accordance as such and then have things bend to match that. So I think one of the most important things about Domino's ability is she still has to take action for things to work. She still has to move forward. She still has to, engage in combat. She still has to do things. And then as she's just doing those things, then things happen for her. So funny enough, and I swear, like I literally just pulled this Sonic deck out and I figured, well, this is actually a card from Neopets, the Empress. But what I was going to say before I pulled that, or before I found out that that card was in here, was I find it very interesting that I'm a reader now, a tarot reader now, and the decks that I have, like this is quite literally a Neopets deck. This is Marvel. This is Sonic. Like all the things that, and Sonic was my first video game that I ever played. All these things that I grew up loving and really putting a lot of energy and attention towards are now tools that are helping me, and not only me, but other individuals. And one of the things that I understand are not always easy to do, or is not, are not, I can't speak English sometimes, but one of the things that's not always easy to do is necessarily following your excitement or following the things that you're passionate about, because it's not always a practical or grounded or rational pursuit. But I think the more that we're capable of doing such, and when we have the space to be able to act on the things that truly give us joy and excitement and things that kind of like light us up, I think it's what leads to things being beneficial for us in the longest run. And it opens up pathways and opportunities for us that are then reflective of that same energy. Just how Domino has the energy of, I'm lucky, so therefore all I have to do is move forward. That is quite literally the energy of manifestation. All you have to do is continue to act, move forward, and embody such, and then allow reality to conform. It's not meant to be something like where you're having to sit down and contemplate specific things forever. It's more one of those things like, okay, as I exist, these are the things that I desire, and now as I desire it, I move forward in my normal reality, and now it's moving me towards these things. And I'm not going to do things that are counteracting or think things that are contradicting what I'm trying to bring into my reality. And there's nothing wrong with having doubts. There's nothing wrong with having moments of even frustrations. That's all a part of the process. But it's also important to not then allow like those doubts and those moments to be the defining factor of how you're experiencing these things. Like, when we really think about manifestation, what it really boils down to is trying to master the generation of reality and how we're interacting with it. That's no small feat by any standard. And some people might be able to grasp it easier than others. There's nothing wrong with those who are. But I think it's important to give yourself grace as you are trying to navigate through those things and be mindful that it can be difficult for every good reality generation. It can be difficult for every good reason under the world or under the sun. But that being said, let's pull a couple more cards and see what we're going to look into. So then we have the Ace of Water. And actually, no, I feel like this is important too, because I really just grabbed the Sonic deck, and these are the two cards that were not from the Sonic deck, which is Domino and the Empress. I am so heavy on embracing that feminine energy and embracing that energy that allows you to be nurturing and caring. So many people have seen the fact that I might have grown up with a single mom as a negative thing, but for me, the fact that I was raised by such powerful and loving and amazing, like, women, it's what kind of inspired me to continue to embrace that energy and embody that to the best of my ability. And I'd like to think that there's nothing wrong with being loving, caring, and kind, as long as you then have boundaries around that, then allow you to make sure you're not just giving that out endlessly to the people who then who don't deserve it. And even more so when you embrace the Empress energy. The Empress energy is the energy of, like, when you, every Empress card that I have is always of somebody who, when I think about feminine energy is supposed to be something that's delicate, nice, pretty. It's like all these things. And when you think about the energy that it takes to get to that point, it is a lot of internal self work. Well, the way that women tend to grow up in society, it's like from young, they're socialized to play dress up, to figure out how they are able to put stickers and makeup and all these things to glamorize and feel empowered and feel beautiful. And then by doing such, it's the energy of, then by being and feeling and conducting yourself as somebody who is this lovely and, beautiful person, you're then attracting in opportunities and experiences. By being kind and lovely and nice, you're supposed to then be able to attract in predominantly experiences of that being reflected back to you, especially when you then have the discernment to then allow or to know who then to extend that kindness to. So I say all this to say that the Empress energy is very vital to embodying, I think, one of the better versions of ourselves that allow things to flow to us effortlessly, that allow us to kind of just walk through this earth as we are, literally just as we are, doing the things that we like, doing the things that we love, and then as a result of that, attracting in positive interactions, positive things as we move forward through just being ourselves. When I think about people that have inspired me, they're literally just existing as themselves. They spoke a certain way, they conduct themselves a certain way, they're simply being who they were. And because that was so authentic in those moments, and I was able to pick up on how that was, it allowed me to then draw inspiration from them. So we're not here in this human experience to be anything else aside from ourselves, especially because we are all, at the core of who we are, the same thing. So we come here to then experience then being something different and interacting with different things. Like, at the core of everything, we are all the same energy. There is only one energy that is being perceived through infinite different lens. And that then gives us the ability to interact with each other as different beings, and being able to have different authentic expressions of ourselves that then ripple out to then how we collectively interact with reality and create experiences and create, the both the positive and the bad things. And then we, from those experiences, then come to our own personal conclusions as to how we want to move forward as we are conducting ourselves. So I say all this to say, embrace being you, pour into yourself, do all the things that make you feel you. Even when I don't record videos, I still, for the most part, I mean, everybody should be showering. That's like just basic hygiene. But I still, many times I do my hair. Many times I'll still put perfume on. Many times I'll still do things that make me just feel like me. And you don't always have to do those things. Like, everybody feels like themselves in different ways. But I think it's so important to continue to pour into yourself to then allow opportunities to come back that are reflective of that. Because every deck that I have, again, this is Neopets, and the deck I'm about to pull from is the literal Sonic the Hedgehog official deck. Technically speaking, it's Amy Rose's deck, and once again, she is like one of the characters who embody the energy of empathy and kindness and loving and caring, to then, that is just who she is. So, that being said, let's pull like a card or two, or actually, this happens every now and again. I'm really not doing this intentionally, but every now and again, like when I shuffle a deck, both ends will kind of like have the back, and that kind of lets me know like the deck is kind of like, okay, I've said what I said. There was a card that did fall out, and that's the Ace of Cups. And I love that it's in this water capsule. Like, that's one of my favorite things, because Sonic is like my favorite game, and I love like the... Anyway, before I get distracted, the Ace of Cups has the energy of being... It's like fresh energy, fresh... It's like... So it could be the energy of maybe there being new bonds coming in, there being new connections, us feeling refreshed, us feeling new, us feeling kind of like... Whenever I think of like the Ace of Cups, I think of like whenever it's hot and then out of nowhere it starts raining and it just kind of drizzles enough just to kind of cool you down a little bit. It's like that sip of fresh water that you need, like when you're going through something difficult. So maybe as you continue to embody being that fresh, that fresh, that breath of fresh air for other individuals, that's how you attract in other things. I will forever say that there have been times like where I've been met with such contrast of people that just simply experiencing somebody who's been kind and nice and authentic was like the biggest breath of fresh air to me. It's like the biggest reminder that there is still genuine, kind-hearted, good people out there that want to see this world become better. And I think that's this Ace of Cups energy. So the more you tend to lean into being yourself and allow things to form around you, then the more you kind of just allow it to ripple outward. But peace and blessings, and I hope you guys have a great day.